Alright, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can set a timer for your game that's actually displayed to the player. It's really simple to put a timer on the game to cause it to end, but it's nice for the player to actually see how much time they have left. And that's a little bit more tricky. So we'll do that by picking an object that we know is not going to be destroyed or shot. So I'll do that with this cloud way up here at the top. And go to its program. And to begin, we need to set the amount of time we want them to have at the beginning. So this says set the score to 25 points red. So you need to pick a color for your timer, whatever color you want it to be. Everything that has to do with that is going to be that certain color. So in this case, we're going to do 25 seconds on the clock. This set score is under game and then set score. And you can change these numbers to however much time you want to begin with. This is a pretty low amount of time, 25 seconds, but in this game the player can actually get more time every time they get a coin. So if you didn't want to do that, you'd want to make sure that this number is the amount of time that they have to race or play the game. Then it says switch to page 2. And on page 2 it says it's going to subtract 1 point from the red score. The once is really important. And then after 1 second, it's going to switch over to page 3. This line over here is actually just there to make sure that once the score is below 1 point, it ends the game. So if the timer runs out, the game is over. Over on page 3, you see exactly the same thing. It says subtract 1 red point once. If it's less than 0, end the game. Or if it's lower than 1, end the game. And then after 1 second, it's going to switch back over to page 2. So this is just a loop that's going to keep going back and forth. Every second it'll take off a point, check to make sure it's not less than 1, and then switch over to page 3. And then it's going to take off another point, check to make sure it's not less than 1, wait a second, and then switch back to page 2. So the pages are just going to go back and forth, and every second it's going to take off a point. So that's a way that you could have a timer displayed up at the top right, and every second it's going to lose a point basically, and the clock will tick down. And once the score is below 0 or less than 1, it's going to end the game. So again, this was scored, and then the below is just one of the choices, compare and below. So if it's below 1 point on the red score, it's going to end the game. So the cool thing with that is then you can add points or add time as well. So whenever this main character bumps into a coin, he gets 3 more red points, which is 3 seconds. So as they race through the game and get coins, they're actually adding time to the clock. So that's how you can do a little bit more than just a basic score system. I think this is going to get us those points for having an advanced and flawless system. Something like this is much more advanced. And it really works pretty well, so that as they play the game, if I play this one for you, you can see up here at the top, it just set it to 25, and now every second it's taking off a point. If I go ahead and play through the levels a little bit, you see that when I get a coin, my time goes back up from 8 or 7, it went back up 3 because I got a coin. Alright, so let's use that in our games, and that should help us get even more points.